by for the throttle up call now from Capcom Eric Bow.
Discovery. Copy, go ahead, throttle up.
The throttle up call acknowledged by Commander Rick Sturco, joined on the flight deck by pilot Kevin Ford, flight engineer Jose Hernandez, and Pat Forrester. Seated down on the middeck are Danny Olivas, Christopher Fugelsang of the European Space Agency, and Nicole Stott, hitching a ride for 3 months on the International Space Station.
3 months?
1 minute 30 seconds into the flight. All of Discovery systems performing normally. 17 miles in altitude, 18 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
Maybe like 5,000 miles an hour now.
1 minute 50 seconds into the flight. Standing by for solid rocket booster separation.
Oh, I love that part. They're not even talking about it anymore.
What?
They're not even talking about it on TV anymore.
Booster officer confirms staging.
I know, but that was a fucking murderer.
Separation. Guidance now converging. The onboard computer steering the shuttle for its precise path to the International Space Station.
Newsday was the whole fucking paper.
Yeah, but actually Newsday, there was an article with him that they pinned him as a friggin' adulterer and a murderer and shit like that.
Discovery
There was
37
an article on
miles
that
in
about it.
altitude, 54 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
But the guy freaking left the woman in the car to freaking
3
die.
good main engines.
She suffocated,
3
she
good
didn't drown.
auxiliary power units. 3
Because
good
she
fuel
found a
cells.
pocket of air by the wheel well.
Engine maroon.
And she suffocated.
Engine maroon.
No reason he got away with it because he's a fucking Kennedy.
3 minutes into the flight. Everything going very
Well,
well for
why
Discovery.
didn't
47
they
miles
shoot
in
him?
altitude, 85 miles downrange.
I don't think he was a great man in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
The orbital maneuvering system engines ignited. Discovery kicking on the afterburners for 1 minute 52 seconds, assisting the shuttle and its crew on their climb to orbit.
it's amazing. Wonder where they went.
Discovery flying on the singular power of its 3 liquid fuel main engines,
Wasn't
draining
cloudy,
half
you
a
could've seen
ton
it
of
go
fuel
over.
per second from the shuttle's large fuel tank.
It's fucking awesome.
Discovery coming up on the point of negative return, where the shuttle will be too far downrange, too high in altitude to return to the launch site in the event of an engine failure.
Oops.
Discovery, negative return. Copy, Houston, negative return.
Discovery speeding straight as an arrow on its night flight toward a date with the International Space Station Sunday night.
Can I go there first?
4 minutes 8 seconds into the flight, Discovery 61 miles in altitude, 163 miles downrange from the Cape. All systems in great shape.
Was it raining when you came home?
Huh?
Was it raining when you
More
came
than
home?
halfway toward its preliminary orbit, Discovery's engines, fuel cells, and auxiliary power units performing as advertised. Discovery now 212 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
212 miles.
The Environmental Systems Officer reports the activation of a good flash evaporator system providing cooling for Discovery's avionics until the payload bay doors are open an hour and a half into the flight. 5 minutes into the ascent toward orbit. This view from a camera on the external fuel tank.
It's friggin' amazing.
Discovery, press to ATO, select Istrus. Press to ATO will select Istrus.
That call from Capcom Eric Bow indicating that Discovery can make minimal abort-to-orbit targets in the event of an engine failure. However, all 3 main engines continue to perform perfectly.
Discovery, single engine, Ops 3. Copy, single engine, Ops 3.
Discovery now 336 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, coming up on the 6-minute mark into the flight.
No, I'm not. What, on the computer?
Alright, the computer?
The guidance officer and mission
Yeah.
control confirming that
Yeah,
Discovery's
that's needed.
computers have commanded the main engines to swivel again, enabling the shuttle to roll to a heads-up position above the fuel tank, gaining more favorable communications through the tracking and data relay satellite system as it heads uphill.
Single engine Istris 104. Discovery, roger. And Discovery, press to MECO. Roger, press to MECO.
That call from Capcom Eric Bowe, indicating that Discovery can make normal main engine cutoff targets in the event of an engine failure. However, 6.5 minutes into the flight, all 3 main engines performing normally.
I never said how fast they were going.
Discovery now 466 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
Wow.
Less than 2 minutes of powered flight remaining.
Wow, 2 minutes and they'll be in orbit. 12 minutes it takes them to get into orbit.
Discovery, single engine press 104, nominal shutdown plan. Go for the 20-second plus X, no go to pitch.
The amount of time it takes me to go from home to CVS on my bike, the space shuttle's in orbit.
20-second plus X, referred to by Capcom Eric Bowe as the maneuver that Commander Rick Sturko will perform after external tank separation, enabling umbilical well cameras to obtain flash photography of the fuel tank as it drifts away. 7.5 minutes into the flight, the main engine's being throttled down to limit the stress on the shuttle and its 7 crew members to that of 3 times the effect of gravity. Discovery currently traveling at a speed of more than 4 miles per second.
There you go, 4 miles per second. Wow.
Discovery and its crew 700 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
4 miles per second.
40 seconds of powered flight remaining.
60 seconds in a minute. It's 240 miles a minute. 240 times 60. Can't do that in my head.
Standing by now for main engine cutoff. That will be followed a few seconds later by the separation of the external fuel tank.
There it goes.
Booster officer confirms a good main engine cutoff. Now standing by for external tank separation.
There it goes. There's the external tank.
External tank separation confirmed. Discovery now in its preliminary orbit.
Isn't that fucking
You can
sweet,
see the
man?
flash photography as Discovery fades away from the camera view.
Oh, the
Good
camera's on
maneuver
the
being
tanks.
commanded by Rick Sturko, maneuvering Discovery so that those cameras embedded in the umbilical well can perform that flash photography of the discarded external fuel tank. An uneventful ride to orbit for the shuttle Discovery, 2 days shy of its 25th anniversary of its maiden flight, beginning a 13-day mission.
Nominal MECO OBS1 is not required. Discovery, roger.
That's it. Now we're back to what you call it.